Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And once again, it was fall out there today with lots of clouds, some little bit of light fog as we started off our day this morning, and temperatures right around 40 for most of us today as we look down at the Columbia River and the Wenatchee Valley. But I'll tell you what, we are going to see our weather changing once again, especially beginning late tomorrow and into tomorrow night. And this is our scenario. Cold air continues to funnel down from Canada, and that will mix with the moisture you see moving up from the southwest, powered by an area of low pressure just off the Washington coast. That will bring us rain, at least for tomorrow afternoon into early tomorrow night, and that will change over to a rain-snow mix on Wednesday night. We don't expect a lot of snow totals here in the Wenatchee area. Most of the snow from this next system will be in the higher elevations. Plain could see 2 to 3 inches, and up in the Methow Valley, Winthrop could also see 1 to 2 inches of snow there. We'll have a lot more details, or many more details, on this next weather system coming up a little bit later on. And for those watching on our Facebook, tune in to Local Channel 12 or Charter Channel 19, or you can stream us live at ncwlife.com for the full evening newscast tonight. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Our Valley, Our Future forms a housing study group. We'll take a look at a few East Wenatchee Road projects, and the North Cascades Highway reopened today after avalanche danger. But first, Chelan County PUD commissioners have settled on a site for a new substation to serve the Manson area along Lake Chelan. On Monday, the board voted unanimously to move forward on plans to purchase property on Henderson Road. The decision follows 2 years of planning and multiple public meetings. Fewer than a dozen residents from the Chelan area attended the extended meeting that was held at the Confluence Technology Center last night. 5 people testified in opposition to the project, including neighboring property owner Corky Thorson.
The bright light, the constant hum, the industrial feel, it's going to be horrible for us, as opposed to someone that is a mile off looking sideways at a possible transmission line. It's not the same, guys. It's not the same thing. And if you're saying this is apples and apples, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong.
Of the 18 alternative areas studied, PUD planners said the Henderson option had the lowest impact on nearby landowners, with minimal cost impact for all PUD ratepayers. Commissioner Steve McKenna said that he still owns a home in Manson and was a resident of the North Shore community for many years. McKenna expressed that he feels the location selected will provide the best service with the least visual impact to neighbors.
I realize that, again, no option is good, but I believe in my mind that this still is the least impactful. And the reason why I say that is because it has the shortest transmission. It's tucked in a low spot, and I truly believe by continuing to work with the neighbors, getting input, things can be mitigated as we look at this property to mitigate the situation and make it the best that we possibly can. So.
McKenna explained that in the time since the Wapato and Union Valley substations were built, there have been 44 new housing developments along the North Shore. All of them have been borrowing power from the existing substations. Our Valley, Our Future has formed a working group to develop recommendations aimed at making housing more available and affordable in the region. The Our Valley Housing Solutions Group is made up of residents and stakeholders representing a cross-section of the housing industry and community. The group has been tasked with researching local housing challenges, resulting in possible recommendations to help spur more housing in the region in the short and long term. Our Valley engaged more than 1,700 residents through a regional housing survey in July and August. The survey found residents struggling to find and afford a home in Chelan and Douglas counties, to the point where 45% of survey respondents said they have thought of relocating to another city. With the Highline Drive Street project and the new roundabout near the George Seller Bridge completed, a couple of major projects in East Wenatchee are still ongoing, one on 5th Street and the other on 19th. East Wenatchee Mayor Steve Lacy says the 19th Street construction is almost completed.
I was informed by our city engineer that they will be paving the 19th Street area, intersection area, this week with the expectation of opening it to traffic as soon as the pavement sets up, which should be a couple of days. My expectation is by the weekend we should have traffic moving there again. This was a complete reconstruction for 4 blocks from 19th Street to 15th Street. Plus, we also basically put in traffic signals and completely reconstructed the configuration of the 19th Street intersection. So this is a major project.
Meanwhile, Mayor Lacy says the 5th Street project is still a work in progress.
In looking at it, it appears that they're a long way from done. The idea would be, of course, that we would have it open again for traffic one way or the other, whether the project continues through the winter or not. We have putting in sidewalks there. That's a primary aspect of that project, and it doesn't look like they're close to getting the sidewalks in.
An area of contention among some East Wenatchee motorists is the new roundabout on Highline Drive in front of Safeway.
Some people really like it. Those are the ones that probably were having trouble getting in and out of Simon Street previous, and it's much easier to get in and out of Simon now if you're coming up the hill. And but I have understood that there have been some backups, and the reports that I have are that the backups are caused mainly by people who are hesitating at the roundabout and not sure what to do. So we'll see. I know there have been some backups, but I think there's a issue with the utilization of the roundabout, and it just takes some people a while to get used to that.
Lacy says he will find out from city engineers sometime today if the sidewalks on 5th Street will be completed this year or after the winter season in 2018. Highway 20, the North Cascades Highway, reopened today following the second temporary closure of the season. Crews finished clearing the 37 miles of highway closed since last Thursday night. The avalanche and maintenance team that assessed the conditions found 6 to 8 inches of snow on the pavement and 20-degree temperatures. While the avalanche chutes received that snow as well, they were found to be stable, and continued cold temperatures allows DOT crews to plow and prep the highway for traffic. The permanent seasonal closure is determined by avalanches and the potential for more. That usually happens around Thanksgiving to mid-December. Coming up, the Grant County Narcotics team makes another drug bust in Moses Lake. The Washington State Patrol welcomes a new group to troopers to North Central Washington, and Douglas County commissioners delay their decision on importing Canadian trash. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CVCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CVCH respects that.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
Hi everyone, Brent Crowder here at Town Nissan. Come on down to Town Nissan and help us celebrate the best-selling SUV in America today, the 2017 Nissan Rogue, along with its big brother, the Nissan Murano, and the beautiful Maxima, and the all-new Nissan Titan, and the all-new Nissan Armada. Come down and see us and see why we are the fastest-growing car company in America today. Come down and see us at Town Nissan behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
And welcome back. Grant County's Interagency Narcotics Enforcement Team busted another illegal marijuana operation last week. The raid also resulted in the arrest of 42-year-old Cesario Huerta of Moses Lake. INET officers raided Huerta's North Frontage Road house last Wednesday and seized 99 plants, 50 pounds of processed marijuana, 10 firearms, and a gun silencer. Huerta told investigators that at one time he had considered becoming a licensed marijuana producer, but decided not to due to the startup cost and red tape. The Washington State Patrol North Central Washington Region welcomes 8 new troopers who graduated earlier this month from the Trooper Basic Training class. Troopers complete over 1,000 hours of training to join Washington's premier law enforcement organization. The Washington State Patrol Academy produces approximately 3 cadet classes every 2 years, which accounts for about 100 to 120 new troopers. On average, only about 4 to 6% of all applicants make the grade to become Washington State Patrol troopers. Douglas County Commissioners delayed a decision on whether or not to greenlight Waste Management's plan to haul Canadian trash into Douglas County. Commissioners voted to wait for the Department of Agriculture's review that could bring a new set of standards to solid waste imports. That review is expected in 6 months. Commissioner Steve Jenkins says the main issue revolves around the potential threats to tree fruit industry from the imported waste. Commissioners will ultimately decide Monday whether an advisory committee with the county's Agriculture Tech Department needs to review the application and make recommendations on pest risk and control procedures. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Bay Equity Home Loans in Wenatchee, serving all of North Central Washington. We make it our priority to learn all about your financial needs. Whether you're buying your first home, refinancing, or want a reverse mortgage, our mortgage professionals are ready to guide you through the loan process. We have a wide variety of loan products to fit your family's needs. Call Bay Equity Home Loans of Wenatchee today for your pre-approval. 509-888-0466.
So, how you guys doing?
My job starts in Portland in a month.
Can we find a buyer that fast? I think we're good. Our CBX app tells us who the best potential buyers are. We can pinpoint where the hottest prospects are located, right on this map.
2 cities over.
It even lets us set the most accurate price.
Wow, it really does all that.
It really does all that.
Well, help us pack?
We're working on that.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy Tuesday. Wenatchee hosts Chiawana today in the first round of the WIAA State 4A Girls Soccer Tournament. I think it's sponsored by Les Schwab and the Dairy Farmers of Washington as usual. The Panthers are 14-2 on the season and reign as the Columbia Basin Big Nine regular season and district champions. Chiawana out of Pasco is 14-5 and plays second in the Mid-Columbia during the regular season and come in as the number 3 seed out of the District 8 tournament. The winner of tonight's game will advance to take on the winner of Lake Stevens and Kennedy Catholic in the second round. I'll be toting the camera out to the Apple Bowl tonight to film the action. We'll have highlights tomorrow right here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley and in our evening sportscast. The Cashmere Bulldogs, meanwhile, are on the road for a first-round game tonight in the WIAA State 1A tournament at LaSalle. Cashmere finished behind Cascade in the Caribou Trail League regular season and emerged the number 2 seed from the District 6 tournament and advanced to state with last weekend's 3-1 win over Lakeside in that glue crossover. The Lightning are 17-1 and breezed through the South Central Athletic Conference District Tournament with wins over Connell, Warden, and Kiona-Benton to take that district championship. Tonight's game kicks off at Marquette Stadium at 6 o'clock. Cascade, meanwhile, will have to wait until tomorrow for its first-round State 1A game against Cowan-Benton. The two teams will face off in the Apple Bowl at 5:30. Here's what we have on tap for the broadcast schedule for sports here on the NCW Life channel this week. It begins tonight with the first airing of that Eastmont District play-in playoff game against Davis from last week at Eastmont High School. That's tonight at 7 o'clock. Thursday's hockey night once again on the NCW Life channel will feature Wenatchee's great home win against Penticton from October 21st. That'll be preceded by the Call of the Wild and Clarkie's Corner at 7. On Friday, it's the re-airing of Wenatchee's thrilling first ever district championship soccer win. That was over West Valley last week. We'll have that Friday night for you at 7 o'clock here on the NCW Life channel. And by the way, for those who missed the overtime Bridge of Sportsmanship game this year between Eastmont and Wenatchee, it's now up on our website to watch. Just go to ncwlife.com, hover over the Watch Now on the menu bar, and sports broadcast will come up under the Watch on Demand category, so you can watch that at any time. Well, Pete Carroll met with reporters Monday after getting a chance to watch a film of Sunday's 17-14 loss to Washington. He said overall there's a lot of potential that was wasted by penalties.
Really disappointing game. Just to give you a quick wrap up on it, in a number of ways, we just didn't perform like we're capable, and so we continue to have work to do. We made some progress in some areas, and played a really good game on defense, and had a really good fourth quarter finish and rolling there for the offense, and then we gave it away. So it was a good win for them, and we get some real serious stuff we got to get better at.
Seattle was penalized 16 times Sunday, one shy of a dubious team record. Carroll said what kills him are the needless penalties.
There's 5 on the line of scrimmage. Those always irk me the most, because those are the ones that's totally self-inflicted. But there's, they were kind of across the board. There was a couple holds on scrambles, and some things that we know that we work to learn in the nature of our play. Russell's running around, and those offensive linemen have to know when to release and feel that, and we didn't make that choice a couple times properly. So there's just stuff that continues and needs focus.
That's sports news. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. Voter turnout in the general election has been dismal, according to election officials in Chelan and Douglas counties. Auditors Skip Moore and Thad Duvall say it's possible the August primary had more voters casting ballots compared to the November election.
The turnout is fairly low. We're between 22 and 25% right now. And if things don't really pick up on election day today and what comes in the mail tomorrow, for the first time in my memory, the turnout in the general election might be less than the turnout in the primary. And
that's interesting.
That is strange.
Are you seeing the same
We're
thing?
seeing the same thing. And that's what's confusing or vexing, is why the change in the difference between turnout for the general and the primary this cycle.
So we're running at about 20% for you then, too?
We're at 26% right now.
26%. Now understand too, folks, when we're talking about percentage of voters casting ballots, really that number really pales in comparison to the total number of people registered or the total population of voting age.
Well, yes. When you go down from voter eligible to those registered and then those actually participating, the numbers slip farther and farther down. Chelan County, we're probably around 75 to 80% of those eligible to be registered to vote are in fact registered. So then when you only have 25% of the 80%, the numbers get quite small.
It really is kind of disappointing when you think about it, discouraging, because this small percentage of people really are making the decisions as to who governs in Chelan and Douglas County and the cities.
Yes, that's...
And we have a growing population. When I first took office in 1997, we had around 13,000 registered voters. And today we've popped over 21,000 in that time frame. So we've had steady growth population-wise, and I just wish that we'd have more and more people voting too.
Both Moore and Duvall had predicted over 50% turnout for today's election. The deadline to return your vote by mail ballots is today. Local races include city council contests in Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, Chelan, Cashmere, and Leavenworth, as well as school board races in Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, and Chelan. The deadline to return your ballots I mentioned is today, and for all election night results, go to our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel or to our website at ncwlife.com. We'll be back in just a moment with the recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Is this really what we're gonna do on our girls' night out?
We should go to Club Crow. The bar and grill in Cashmere?
Yeah, let's go.
Looking for a fun-filled, friendly hometown atmosphere? Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is the place to be. Hi, this is Justin. Here at Club Crow, we have full bar and restaurant, live music, a dance floor, pool tables, pull tabs, and live jam sessions the first Sunday of every month. Club Crow in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Time now for a recap of some of our top stories. Chelan County PUD commissioners have settled on a site for a new substation to serve the Manson area along Lake Chelan. On Monday, the board voted unanimously to move forward on plans to purchase property on Henderson Road. The decision follows 2 years of planning and multiple public meetings. Fewer than a dozen residents from the Chelan area attended the extended meeting that was held at the Confluence Technology Center last night. 5 people testified in opposition to the project, including neighboring property owner Corky Thorson.
The bright light, the constant hum, the industrial feel, it's going to be horrible for us, as opposed to someone that is a mile off looking sideways at a possible transmission line. It's not the same, guys. It's not the same thing. And if you're saying this is apples and apples, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong.
Of the 18 alternative areas studied, PUD planners said the Henderson option had the lowest impact on nearby landowners with minimal cost impact for all PUD ratepayers. Commissioner Steve McKenna said that he still owns a home in Manson and was a resident of the North Shore community for many years. McKenna expressed that he feels the location selected will provide the best service with the least visual impact to neighbors.
I realize that, again, no option is good, but I believe in my mind that this still is the least impactful. And the reason why I say that is because it has the shortest transmission. It's tucked in a low spot, and I truly believe by continuing to work with the neighbors, getting input, things can be mitigated as we look at this property to mitigate the situation and make it the best that we possibly can. So.
McKenna explained that in the time since the Wapato and Union Valley substations were built, there have been 44 new housing developments along the North Shore. All of them have been borrowing power from the existing substations. Grant County's interagency narcotics enforcement team busted another illegal marijuana operation last week. The raid also resulted in the arrest of 42-year-old Cesario Huerta of Moses Lake. INET officers raided Huerta's North Frontage Road house last Wednesday and seized 99 plants, 50 pounds of processed marijuana, 10 firearms, and a gun silencer. Huerta told investigators that at one time he had considered becoming a licensed marijuana producer, but decided not to due to the startup cost and red tape. And now your weather forecast for north central Washington. And first, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, where once again it felt like fall out there today, and why not? It is. There's the Columbia River and the Wenatchee Valley. We did see some clouds roll in this morning after a bit of a foggy and cold start this morning. Those cloud deck lowering a bit as well as we take a look at our satellite picture, a storm system moving down. I showed you earlier in the broadcast, cold air continues to funnel down from Canada, and you can see that big moisture tap moving up from the southwest along a cold front just off the Washington-Oregon coast. It's actually being fueled by an area of high pressure that's also just off the coast. That will kick that storm system into gear tomorrow, and we will see showers begin late in the day on Wednesday. It will turn over to a rain-snow mix for our Wednesday night into Thursday, and then we'll see a bit of a break after that on Friday and into Saturday. But notice to the west of the United States west coast, we are seeing more moisture. That will also funnel our way late in the week into the weekend, and that'll bring us another chance for a scattered shower or two once again Saturday night, Sunday, and into early next week. So let's take a look at that forecast now. And tonight we will drop down to a decent 30 degrees considering we were in the low 20s this morning. And then tomorrow about a 70% chance for afternoon rain showers. Our high temperature about 39 degrees. For Wednesday night, a 100% chance for a rain-snow mix. We could see a little bit of accumulation here in the Wenatchee area, but it'll mainly be on the grassy areas around north central Washington. Maybe a stray shower or two as well on Thursday morning. A little bit warmer too at 43 degrees. 46 with a peak at sunshine on Friday and into the weekend Saturday, 45 then, and we'll stay in the mid-40s for Sunday and Monday, but keep in mind more of the wet stuff moving our way by the end of the weekend and the first part of next week. We leave you tonight with an inspiring video of an elderly woman who receives a visit every day from an unusual pet who she greets with treats, petting, and words of kindness. And if you have a video of the day you'd like to see on NCW Life News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Also, tune into NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up with Wenatchee Valley with guest host Steve Hare. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life channel on Twitter.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.
Honey, I got the space heater.
Make sure you survive winter. Call Central Washington Heating and Air before it's too late. This winter, don't get shocked by the cold. Call Central Washington Heating and Air today.